This is WJLA 24/7 News, on your side.
First at 5, preparing for the worst. The United States facing a crucial couple of weeks in the fight against the coronavirus. Today, Dr. Anthony Fauci said it is going to be a bad week, but the country will get through the pandemic if everyone continues to social distance.
On the one hand, things are going to get bad, and we need to be prepared for that. It is going to be shocking to some. It certainly is really disturbing to see that, but that's what's going to happen before it turns around. So we just buckle down, continue to mitigate, continue to do the physical separation, because we got to get through this week that's coming up, because it is going to be a bad week.
And new numbers in tonight showing a sharp spike in cases in Maryland, 484 new cases since yesterday. Virginia is reporting an additional 230 cases, and in D.C. we've learned about 96 new cases. The total number locally now sits at more than 7,000 cases. And a sad update out of Carroll County. 3 more residents at a nursing home have died of COVID-19. That brings it to a total of 9 deaths there. 77 out of the 95 people living at the Pleasant View nursing home have tested positive for coronavirus. And so have at least 24 staff members. And new at 5, Governor Larry Hogan is focusing on nursing homes in Maryland and taking action to protect residents and staff. He enacted an emergency order requiring staff to wear a mask, gloves, and a gown. They must also create an isolation area for residents who are sick and speed up all testing for COVID-19. Governor Hogan says there are clusters at 81 nursing homes all across the state. And across the nation, Americans are bracing for the worst of this pandemic. Sinclair National Correspondent Christine Frizzell with what we can expect.
It's a sight most have never seen in their lifetime. Empty churches the week before Easter on Palm Sunday. This one in Italy holding mass with photos of people taped to empty pews. One snapshot of the dire situation public health officials say will undoubtedly be the week ahead.
The next week is going to be our Pearl Harbor moment. It's going to be our 9/11 moment. It's going to be the hardest moment for many Americans in their entire lives.
Americans warned against even taking part in some of those few activities still deemed as essential, if at all possible.
This is the moment to not be going to the grocery store, not going to the pharmacy, but doing everything you can to keep your family and your friends safe.
One of the many factors in this struggle, doctors and nurses in hospitals nationwide are still without the basic equipment needed to care for patients and themselves.
Just in the last day, I heard from hospitals who didn't have ventilators, police officers who don't have masks, nurses, medical technicians on the front lines risking their lives who don't have PPE.
We need a few thousand more than we have now, up to 4,000. That's what we've asked the federal government for. And over time, they've given us 450 total. Now, we're looking everywhere and anywhere across the world to get ventilators.
The Trump administration vowing more help is already on the move.
HHS has several thousand ventilators in stock right now, and they plan on delivering those first. We've delivered millions of N95 masks to both New York and 12 other city-states around the country, and other PPE.
Meanwhile, the Defense Production Act has now been put into place, with some companies already at work creating new ventilators and other medical supplies. But at the moment, the concern is that many of those supplies will not be ready until May or June. I'm Christine Frizzell, ABC 7 News.
And as Christine mentioned, Palm Sunday services are looking very different. That includes right here in the nation's capital. At the National Cathedral, they live streamed the service this morning. Palm Sunday commemorates Jesus' arrival in Jerusalem just days before his crucifixion. While none of the pews were filled and the celebrants stood at safe distances from each other, they said they were honored to bring the service to everyone at home. And at the Basilica of the National Shrine of the Immaculate Conception, a simple yet reverent Palm Sunday service. The Basilica says the closing due to the pandemic is believed to be the first time in about 100 years that it had to shut its doors to the public. That wasn't because of a weather-related event. A popular area of the wharf shut down because of large crowds. 7 on Your Side got this video last night. You see people standing in line at the fish market at the wharf. Photos of the crowds went viral online. Well, this morning, the city ordered the market to shut down. Mayor Bowser's office says the fish market has to present a plan with safe social distancing being enforced, and then they may be allowed to reopen. Well, in Montgomery County, several restaurants are teaming up with Silver Spring Cares to provide hot meals for families in need. And the demand keeps rising. And as ABC 7's Katie Kairos reports, those meal distributions have become a place to connect during a time of isolation.
We're here kind of to comfort people and to let them know that there are people out there that care and will help them.
Maryland-based nonprofit Small Things Matter has always provided food to those in need.
We're all in this together and we're going to get through it together.
Now they're needed more than ever. By the numbers, 8 restaurants donating 50 meals at a low price to place in dozens of cars, maintaining social distance. But like the virus, the economic impact on those inside is exponential.
I'm an essential worker. I work for UPS, but my wife, she's furloughed, and she's a dental assistant. A lot of togetherness. That's all we can do. Just be together in the house, on top of each other, and keep each other company.
Well, each restaurant is paid $10 per meal, and they serve 6 people each. And the nonprofit says since Maryland's lockdown began, they've served more than 4,000 meals, and they don't see the need decreasing anytime soon. Laquan Mosley of Gaithersburg filed for unemployment after losing his job as a truck driver.
It's very frustrating, but at the same time, I feel as though that it's going to be a change or something's going to happen and things are going to be better. So stay positive all the time.
And the no contact distribution doesn't mean no connection.
It's not just about us coming out the other side of this. It's that we come out the other side of this learning a lesson, that there's more things that connect us and divide us, that we come out of this with our humanity intact.
In Silver Spring, Katie Kairos, ABC 7 News.
New information tonight. 4 more members of DC Fire and EMS have tested positive for COVID-19. That brings the total number of cases in that department to 32. 9 of those people have recovered and have either already returned to work or will go back soon. And one of the hardest hit areas during this pandemic is New York. Well, today, Governor Andrew Cuomo saying although the deaths continue, there is a glimmer of good news.
Number of deaths is up. That's the bad news. It's 4,159, and we pray for each and every one of them and their families, and that is up, and that is the worst news. But the number of deaths over the past few days has been dropping for the first time. What is the significance of that? It's too early to tell.
Well, the governor also says the number of new hospitalizations is down and the number of people leaving the hospital is up. The federal government is sending 1,000 medical military personnel to New York State. They will deploy over the next few days. And moving overseas, UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson's office says he's been admitted to the hospital due to coronavirus symptoms. He tested positive for the virus 10 days ago and had been isolating at home since then. Also today, Queen Elizabeth gave a special address to the nation from Windsor Castle. Her speech offered words of comfort during this crisis and support for healthcare workers battling this global pandemic.
I also want to thank those of you who are staying at home, thereby helping to protect the vulnerable and sparing many families the pain already felt by those who have lost loved ones. Together we are tackling this disease. And I want to reassure you that if we remain united and resolute, then we will overcome it. While we have faced challenges before, this one is different. This time we join with all nations across the globe in a common endeavor, using the great advances of science and our instinctive compassion to heal. We will succeed, and that success will belong to every one of us.
Well, 7 is on your side through this entire pandemic. We're going to continue to keep you informed both on air and online. We have all the information that you need on our website, including grocery store hours, where to get meals for free, and resources for parents. Just head over to WJLA.com or the free ABC 7 app. And we are turning now to weather as we take a live look outside. It was a sunny day across the area, but clouds are moving in, as you can see there. And 7 is on storm watch, tracking some showers this evening. Meteorologist Brian Vandegraff is working from home tonight. Hey, Brian.
Indeed, I am, Carl. We are tracking a chance for a few showers or thunderstorms to work their way through as we head through the next couple of hours. But I'll tell you, they're looking rather paltry at the latest glimpse here. Take a look outside from our tidal basin view down across the water, and a lot of folks definitely keeping their social distance out there. Those blossoms not quite as pretty as they had been, losing a little bit of their luster, but such is the case when this time of season happens. They're good for a couple weeks, and then they start to fade away. Temperature-wise, we're sitting at 67 degrees downtown. Our average high is about 63. We definitely have seen some more clouds building in here, but it's still a delightful evening. You can see a lot more cloud cover out through the valley. 66 Winchester to Luray at 68. 66 Leonardtown. Annapolis cooler by the water at 59, and with some breaks of sunshine, Gaithersburg 69, 66 in Quantico. So sitting outside, maybe doing a little grilling or setting up the chimenea, know that it's dry and mild now. Temperatures will drop through the 60s, but after 8, 9 o'clock, I am tracking some moisture, some showers from the west that will be approaching. We'll see how well they hold together, but a few scattered showers could be working their way in here after dark as we get closer to the DMV. Right now, a few of those showers west of the 81 corridor. Coming up, we'll look at the next 7 days, including a look at the work week outlook plus sneak peek at next weekend. Never too early to look ahead. Carl?
All right, Brian, thank you very much. Well, coming up, a revolutionary method that could be a game changer. We'll explain the breakthrough technology that could help with the mask shortage. And the 2020 race on hold. But Joe Biden is suggesting a new way that it could go on. His idea next.